So we spoke briefly earlier today. So I'm just gonna make you a quick demo on exactly how I'm getting the leads, what I do, and the two services I provide. So um, first off, my name is Joel Fosa. I work at JP Morgan, and I also do SEO consulting for small businesses in Connecticut. I currently live in the Stamford area in Fairfield County. So for this search term, roofer in Connecticut, it's searched about 720 times a month, and the cost to advertise on average is going to be $15 a click. So first off, normally you would see ads at the top. If the ads are optimized correctly with search engine optimization, then the ads will show up above the map. But if it's not, the ads will show up at the bottom of the page. So these these three websites, it's not done in a way for the search engine to understand that this website offers roofing services in Connecticut. And that's why I specialize in search engine optimization, and I can just build a site, run the ads, and sell the leads. So this is not like a Home Advisors. I don't take the leads and sell to multiple business owners. The leads are exclusive to you. So I'd have a tracking number on there. They would call the number through this phone number tracking software. Pretty much track the call, so the call is recorded. And so you see some of my other projects here with business owners. The call is recorded, so we can say what's a real lead and what isn't. So I wouldn't charge you for any robotic calls or any leads that just want to know about your services and don't want to move forward with an estimate, or move forward with any of your services. So that being said, I also run call only ads for, let's say, emergency roofing services. Because if someone has an emergency, they're not going to browse around. They're more likely to call the first number they see there that provides emergency roofing. So I also plug this phrase roofer in Connecticut into a tool that pretty much shows me a few metrics here. It shows me the search volume, the cost to advertise, and the SEO difficulty and the paid difficulty. So it also shows me a few different key phrases that are searched for in Connecticut. So if you didn't want to service all of Connecticut, but you want to grow in a specific location, let's say, for example, you want to grow in Hartford first, and then you want to move to Manchester next. Then we would focus, let's say, the pay per leads, the advertisements in these areas before we focus on Connecticut. So, and maybe you don't want to service Connecticut. Maybe you want to service just 20-mile radius from where you are, and you want to cover the surrounding towns. We can do that. I can do that as well. So that's one thing. That's one service I provide. The second service is local SEO, and I want you to understand pretty much the difference between pay per lead and local SEO. When you pay per lead, it's an expense. But when you pay for SEO, it's an investment, because the work I do today will count more tomorrow. So let's say you don't need me after a year. Well, you're going to reap the benefits of what I have done in the last year forever. So your website's going to sell itself. So I found you, I think, on page 5 or 6 of Google for this term, because Google doesn't really understand what your website provides. And I'll show you here with this tool. Not to be too technical, because I don't think, as a business owner, you really care about the technicality of your website, this and that. So I like to just focus on the results and the results you can expect, and just pretty much getting your phone ringing more if you can handle more jobs. So this is the most important part. this is H1 heading. This is a tool that analyzes the H1, the topic of your website and the subtopic of your website. So Google doesn't even see a topic of your website here. There's no H1. So it doesn't have a clue what your website's about. And for your subheading, the subtopic of your website, these terms shouldn't be here, because no one is searching what we do. No one is searching call to schedule or to text Chris. They're searching phrases like roofer in Connecticut, roofer in Manchester, roofer in Hartford. So what I would do is I would fix all this stuff. Also plug in your website into this tool called Ahrefs. It pretty much shows me the anatomy of your website, what I need to do to get it to show up on page one for any term you want to rank for. And the beauty with this is that I run a performance-based model. So the way it works, if you're wondering how much it costs, for example, is because you're on page 5, I would charge you smaller amount. As we get closer to page 1, I charge you more, because the closer we get, the more competition, the more work I have to do. And I offer a 60-day money-back guarantee because I'm able to offer that to give you peace of mind, because my system works. Because I specialize in local SEO, I know what I'm doing. I know how to get your site to move from page 5 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1. And pretty much I also offer no contracts, so you don't feel like tied down in case this doesn't work, this and that. This is going to work. And this is an investment long term. So I think you told me, SEO takes a while to work. So for this difficulty, I would say maybe 6 months to a year, but 6 months to a year to have your phone ringing all the time for servicing different areas, and you can just book your calendar, I think is worth it. So we can also do a mixture of both. We can get you some leads every month while we wait for the SEO. That's also something we could discuss. So before we move forward, I'd like to definitely set up maybe another call, a video call if you're interested, to discuss any objections or questions you may have, because I want you to fully understand the difference between the two, and what you're paying for before we agree to move forward, so that we can set some expectations and things of that nature. And just remember, paying for each lead is an expense, because you're going to be dependent of the leads being sent, or paying for the leads. So investing in SEO is the long game. So your website generates the leads for you for free.